Hi, everybody. Hello. I'm a few minutes late. Sorry about that, but I just got some stuff back on my podcast, and it's really, really good. And I'm really excited. And I have my podcast editor to thank for all of that. So, hi, happy Wednesday. So excited that you are here. Next Wednesday is going to be a lot of fun. Not that today won't be fun. Today will absolutely be fun, but next Wednesday is also super fun because it's my birthday next Wednesday, and I'm still coming to you live, and we're going to have a big party, and it's going to be great. But when you're here, say hello, let me know you're here. So today is kind of informal, right? Because all week long we're talking about the podcast and the podcast launch. And so today I thought it was a really good time to have an open Q&A because I've had a few people ask me about my podcast and ask me about my process and how I got it done. And I thought I haven't done an open Q&A in a while. So I thought I would hop on, and if people want to come in, then they can come in and ask me any question they want to about their business at all. So you can ask me anything, right? This is like free coaching, kind of, because I won't have all the information, right? I might not be able to answer every single question, but this is it. Like, you have to be here live for this one. You can't like ask a question on the replay and then have me answer it. So I'll see if anybody logs in. I mean, guys, this is like, you know how I'm always like, do you take advantage of every single opportunity to grow your business? Like right here, right? You've got me right here, and I'm saying I will answer any question about a challenge or a pain point or a frustration you're having or a strategy, or maybe you're like, should I do something in my business, or how can I get this result? Maybe you want to know, how did you come up with a podcast? Like, you might want to ask me specifics either about the podcast or how I put it together. You might want to ask me about other behind the scenes things in my business. You might want to ask me questions about, I don't know, anything, right? But you are able to ask me anything. So go ahead, and if you have a question for me, that's what I'm here for, right? So it's kind of your way of getting a little bit of free advice, free feedback, free coaching on your business and hopefully your goals. I would love to help you out. If nobody hops on for free coaching today, then that's okay too, right? Although I would say I don't do these often. So when I do, right, I mean, I really give some real advice. So make sure that next time you catch this, right, that you watch it and participate, because guys, like, this is it, right? This is it. This is how you can grow your business. Like, take advantage of these opportunities. So many of you have seen me talking about my podcast, and many of you have seen me advertise for the podcast launch team, and you've heard me talk about prizes, and it's like, well, what am I going to win? What are things that I'm going to win, right, if I'm part of the podcast launch team? So while I'm waiting for some of you to log on and ask any question that you have about your business, I keep seeing people like hop in and hop out. So I'm going to do what I always do. Like, hold on. Come on in. It's open Q&A, free coaching. Free coaching to grow your business, right? To grow your biz. Like, are you gonna join me, right? Like, come on in, right? Come on in, guys. Come on in. I know a lot of people watch video without the sound on, right? So it's like, come on in, guys. Come on in. So this is anything goes. Ask me any question. I'm an open book. I will answer. I will help you. I will help you strategize. I will help you come up with a solution to a problem. I will help you figure out a way to reach a goal in your business, whatever you want, but you have to ask the question. You have to ask it, right? But the podcast, while we're waiting for people to come on, let me tell you about the podcast. So I have been behind the scenes creating the Rita Made Me Do It show. It is so much fun, and it's full of value. My first two interviews have been incredible, and my next interviews are going to be amazing. But I have been registering for the podcast launch team. So if you're on, you're watching, if you're watching on replay and you're part of my launch team, shout it out, say whoop whoop launch team, you know, like launch team right here, let me know. But let me tell you a little bit about it, right? So how does that work? Some people asked, how does that work? So the way that it works with the launch team is that you guys, so next week, my trailer comes out, okay? My trailer for the podcast, like a movie trailer, right? But it's a trailer for the podcast, and it comes out. And the launch team is gonna go into full effect, right? Sharing the trailer. And then the following week, my episodes, my first batch of episodes goes live, and the launch team will share the episodes, right? There are a few other things, and the launch team will get all of the information, but the idea is there are different tiers of prizes. You get to win everything from private coaching with me and an intensive, right? Either a half-day intensive or a 90-minute intensive. You might want a spot in my mastermind group. You can win some individual sessions. You can win some of my courses. You can win some PDFs. But more importantly, right? Well, not more importantly, because those are amazing gifts, guys. I mean, the value of those gifts, incredible, right? My mastermind group is application only and invite only. So to win a spot in the Momentum Mastermind group is like, in fact, it's being renamed. It's being renamed, and I'm not going to tell you what the new name is, but you can win a spot in it, and it's great. A half-day intensive with me is $1,100, right? So that gift is worth $1,100. So there's so many prizes, but also I've had clients and members of this community donate gifts. And so we have jewelry, we have gift cards, we have a publicity session with Katie Reese, who came in and did a publicity primer. She donated a publicity session. We have a 90-minute branding intensive with Shawnee Creative. Shawnee Creative donated a 90-minute branding intensive to the podcast launch team giveaway. Katie Reese donated the publicity primer intensive session as a giveaway. We have some social media assistants and graphics that have been donated. Again, we have Amazon gift cards, we have office supplies, we have journals, we have a leadership coaching session, we have a stylist session. We have so many things to give away. I'm just kind of like, are you kidding me? Everybody keeps donating prizes to this. I am so touched. I am so excited. And I say, thank you so much for being equally excited and wanting to be a part of the launch team. I'm saying hi again. Sometimes I have to comment to see if comments are there because they freeze up, but I don't think anybody's here with me, which is sad because it's a party, right? Like I was gonna wear my party hat. I got my party hat back there. I got my tiara, if you can see it right back there. I have my girl boss bell ready to party, right? I even have my excited party glass. I have my party glass ready to party, right? Like a shot of hell yeah right here, right? So I was ready to party. I thought you guys were going to be here ready to party with me. Hi, Keely. Hi. But from what I heard from a client, today's the day before school goes back into session for a lot of people across the country. So I don't know if that's true for you. If it is, I hope you're out buying lots of supplies and things like that. But I wanted to come on because this was a chance, right? Every Wednesday at 5, for people who don't know, every Wednesday at 5, you can set your watch by it. Every Wednesday at 5, I go live, right? I'm gonna do this again. Come on in, right? Come on in. I go live every Wednesday at 5. I don't always do a Q&A. In fact, I haven't done an open Q&A Ask Me Anything session for like 6 months. So these are infrequent. This is a time, right? The only way to work with me, to get coaching with me, to get my advice, to get my feedback. Right now, I have one private coaching spot available. That's it. So private coaching. I also have a mastermind group, but that's invitation only, right? So this is it. This is how you get your feedback, because my other program that somebody asked about doesn't come back until 2020. So like, this is it, guys. If you have a question about your business, right? Except if you're on the launch team. If you're on the podcast launch team, then you have the chance to win so many things. You can win free coaching. You can win courses, you can win books, you can win journals, and I have a whole Rita Made Me Do It bundle, which usually has something Power Sheets related in it, has inspirational art in it, has pins in it, and like other like really fun things. You can win that. And like I said, I have had people donate some really amazing prizes to this. We've got publicity sessions with a publicist. We have we have the branding sessions, we have some leadership sessions, we have books and Amazon gift cards and jewelry and some social media graphics and some virtual admin support. We have so much stuff. You absolutely want to be on the launch team for your chance to win because it's super easy, right? All you have to do to win, hi Vanita, hi Keely, hi Elva, hi everybody. All you have to do to win by participating on the launch team is share stuff, right? When my podcast comes out next week, the trailer, you just need to share the trailer. And then you need to leave a review for the podcast. And then you need to share the podcast episodes when it's out. Now, the more you share the episodes, the more you're going to win, like the higher tier prizes that you're going to win, right? So it starts with a really good prize. Like tier 1 is winning a class that I used to run called Your Profit Plan, but I'm revamping it and adding a little more, and it's going to help you build a profitable business. That's something everybody gets, right? If they share the trailer and about the podcast one time and they subscribe. But then it goes all the way up to a half-day intensive with me, which is $1,100, right? And there's one spot up for grabs for my mastermind group. And my mastermind group is invitation only. So to have this as a prize that you can win, right, that you can earn in the podcast launch is amazing. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Britt. Hi, Lynn. And like I said, I've had jewelry donated. I have a publicist who's offered a session about pitching. I have a social media person that's offered some social media graphics. I have a virtual assistant who's offered some free virtual assistant time. I have a bundle with some PowerSheet stuff in it and some planner that I love now and some pins and journals and all kinds of fun things. We have your choice of courses. You have a 90-minute intensive you might win with me. And I'm giving one-off individual coaching sessions as well. And all of this is stuff you can earn just based on sharing my podcast, which I hope you're excited about anyway. So if you're on the launch team, if you're planning on being on the launch team, say hi, say yes in the comments below. Let me know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, but you're curious because you're like, I want to win this stuff, and I will share about your podcast in order to win this stuff, let me know, and I will drop the podcast launch link for you. Other than that, this was open Q&A. This is like, ask me any question about your business. Are you struggling? Do you need to know where to get a client? Are you unsure of your pricing? Do you want to know about a package? Do you need some support around something? Like, what do you need support around? What do you need help around? What do you want insight on? Do you want to ask me questions about anything about my business or behind the scenes? Anything about me? Like, you can do this. Like, this is it, right? I do this once every 6 months. So twice a year, guys. It won't come around, like another open Q&A probably won't come around until the beginning of 2020. So, and like I said, right now, other than what you can win in the by being a member of the podcast launch team, I only have one private coaching spot available for the rest of the year. And my mastermind is invite only, unless you win a spot through the mastermind or through the podcast launch team to the mastermind. So this is where you need to come to get your business questions answered. This is it. Michelle says, link it up, boo. I'm super excited for your podcast. Thank you. I'm gonna, Rita made me do it. Launch team right there. That's it. Thank you, Michelle, so much. I'm really excited about it. Like, I have the trailer in my hand and it's good. I will tell you about the first 2 interviews right on my podcast. The first interview was so amazing. It's a 2-parter. And I interviewed with Paul Brunson. Now, I don't know how many of you know who Paul Brunson is. If you don't know him, Google him, look it up, Paul C. Brunson. He has the most he's one of the most interesting people in the world. I'm very fortunate to know him, and he was so gracious to be my first podcast interview, but it was an amazing interview. And he said after the interview, he said, oh my gosh, Rita, A, you slayed this, which I did. But no, more importantly, right, what he said is he never gets a chance to talk about the kind of stuff I asked him about. That podcast that he's on, ask him these certain kinds of questions. And I deviated from that formula to ask him about things he's never asked about and that he's never asked about and he really loved sharing. And it's the questions that I know will make a difference to your business, right? That's the kind of podcast that I want to have. I am bringing like really great people, but really great people that they don't only mean like well-known people, right? So you hear all the podcasts with all the same entrepreneurs on it over and over and over, right? You hear Tim Ferriss and Marie Forleo, and you hear all of these same people that just kind of get circulated through podcasts, right? I'm bringing you some really great expert people, but from different places in different ways. So Paul Brunson, he's the first interview. And he was a co-host with Oprah. He had the #1 matchmaking agency in the country and sold it. He's a columnist for USA Today for the business section. I mean, there is so much that he gave away that it was 2 episodes worth of information, guys. 2 episodes, right? My next interview is with Rachel Albers. If you don't know Rachel, follow her immediately. She combines stand-up comedy with digital marketing to help you grow your business in a very unconventional way that helps you stand out, make a lot of money, but she's hysterical. And she was my second interview, and she has a super unconventional life that she opened up and shared about. And I think the difference, right, between these episodes is that than other podcasts is that I went and asked questions about more than just their story, more than just their accomplishments, right? More than just their resume. And I think it's going to really, really help you. I know it's going to really, really help you grow your business, right? There are also solo episodes mixed in, but some of the people I'm interviewing are like my favorite barista, right? My favorite barista. And my mom, I'm gonna interview my mama because she's got some amazing stories. Not about me, about life, like in general. So the people that I've brought on to interview on my podcast range all the way from celebrities to comedians to like the local barista down the street. But the way that I'm interviewing and asking questions is to really get the real information, the stuff you can use in your life today to build both a profitable business and live a positive life, right? It's always nice to hear success stories, but if you don't know what they did to reach the success in a way that you can replicate, meaning not copy, but like the pieces that you can pull based on whatever your situation is, whatever your business level is, right? That's what you need to be able to know and understand. And that's what podcasts aren't sharing. So that's why I had those people, and I have some other great interviews lined up, and there's solo episodes, and you're not going to want to miss my introductory episode because that's going to be a riot. But anyway, it's not traditional, right? The podcast is traditional in structure, but the conversations are not traditional. And I think when you hear the trailer next week, you are going to be so surprised. So that is just really excited about it, right? That's why I created the podcast launch team. I created the podcast launch team so that you are able to participate and share this information. Hi, say hello when you're here, right? I created it so that you could share this information, but win some amazing and earn some amazing things along the way, right? So when you sign up for the podcast launch team, you're going to see all the different tiers, and you're going to see the basic things that you can win. But since that time, I have gotten more prizes donated. So like I said, a publicist, Katie, has donated like a publicity session, right? A branding expert has donated a 90-minute branding intensive. A social media person has donated some done-for-you graphics. A virtual assistant has donated some virtual assistant hours for you. Guys, I mean, jewelry and gift cards and just so much more, books and all kinds of things, right? This is something that you're not going to want to miss. Like, this is something you're not going to want to miss. Michelle, yeah, Rachel, super great. It was a great interview. It was such a great interview. Yeah, it was great. I can't say I want to share it all. Like, I have the episodes, right? I have them. Stay tuned though, because I'm going to be posting a way that all of you can actually be part of my intro. It's a really creative concept. It's ambitious to try it. I'm trying to find the right way to do it, and I've got to get it done like before this weekend. So like by the time the weekend's over. So stay tuned and I will share that with you. It's a way that a lot of you will be able to be involved in the intro of my podcast. But over the next couple of days, all of the people who have donated prizes and gifts for my podcast launch team, I'm bringing them on. I'm letting them tell you about themselves, what it is that you're going to get out of the gift that they donated, a little bit of insight into coaching with me so that you know what you're going to hear on the podcast. It's really just going to be a party because August 28th is my birthday, right? So it's August 21st today. In 1 week, it's my birthday. So I took the podcast launch and I took my birthday and I just combined them all together and we're having like a 2-week-long party to celebrate the podcast, to launch the podcast, and to give away gifts, right? And prizes, because you know me, that's what I like to do. So you're going to be meeting all of these people who have donated some amazing services and products. You're going to be hearing more about what you can win from me. You're going to hear more about the guests that are going to be interviewed. And next week, y'all, next week, the trailer comes out. So anyway, I came on today. I just keep talking about this because I actually came on to do open Q&A about your business. Ask me anything. Ask me about strategy. Ask me about mindset. Ask me about action. Ask me about specific challenges that you're facing. Ask me about pricing problems or pricing structures, or ask me about a sales problem that you're having or an outcome you want. Ask me about something behind the scenes in my business. Ask me about something, you know, behind the scenes. Like, this is it. This is it, guys. This is like, I can't stress this enough, guys. And I'm going to be sending an email out about it. I really do have one private coaching session now. I had 2 as of like a week and a half ago, 1 private coaching spot, and then I'm booked for the rest of the year. So when somebody signs up with me for this, that's it. I am booked for private coaching. The only other thing I'm running this year is my mastermind group. My mastermind group is invite only. It's return people and then invite only. And right, so you see what I'm saying? Now, in the launch team, there's a chance to win a spot in the mastermind group, which is a highly coveted spot because it's application invitation only for the mastermind. But you can also win private intensives with me and a variety of other things, right? But if you do want a private coach with me this year, I'm not kidding, 1 spot. 1 spot remains, and then I'm booked till 2020. I do have some people signing contracts and putting deposits down for coaching with me in 2020. So if you are interested in that, just message me and let me know. But in the meantime, if you're on the podcast launch team, you can win, right? You can win a spot in the mastermind. You can win a half-day intensive or a 90-minute intensive or a couple of the classes from my Take Bold Action course. You can win some of your profit plan and master your mindset and make more money, and you can earn and win all of these things plus what's being donated, right? A publicity session with a publicist, a branding session with a branding expert, and I don't mean just a session, I mean like real deal stuff. Books, journals, inspirational art, all kinds of fun stuff, jewelry, Amazon, gift cards, everything. Michelle says, would you recommend using a challenge or email course to test out an idea or a topic? So by email course, Michelle, do you mean like a paid, or do you just mean like a trickled out course by email? I'm going to have to ask you some more questions. I'm going to have to ask you some more questions. So you just want to test out an idea, right? So like, but what are you testing? Are you testing if it flows for you? Are you testing if it will produce results? Or are you testing if people are interested in the concept or if people are interested in the idea? So let me find that out first. Hi, Carrie. How are you? Carrie, are you on my podcast launch team yet? Trisha, I saw you out there too, Trisha girl. You on my podcast launch team? But let me know what it is you want to test. Okay, now I'm going to start answering without knowing your, like a 5-day sequence. Okay. But I'm trying to see, are you just testing if people are interested in the concept, or are you testing if the concept will produce results? Are you testing if the way that you're delivering the information? So based on what you're testing exactly, I can answer that question in the best format. Interest engagement. The first thing I would do, Michelle, is just a teaser post. I don't think enough people do an interest teaser post. So when I have an idea, let's say that I brainstorm, I did recently brainstorm a program to help people get up at 5 a.m. And so, I know, crazy, right? But it was called Wake Up and Win. And I had this idea just sitting around one night. I was like, God, I wonder if people would do this. I wonder if people would sign up for it. And I had a concept for it. So I went online and I did a post here, but I also did a post in other places. And I said, I had this download the other night, right? I had this idea. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that based on conversation, people are wanting to get up in the morning earlier. People are wanting to have better morning routines. People are wanting to get more accomplished in the morning. And so I had this idea of this program to help you do it. Now, I haven't finalized it. This was just an idea. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a private Facebook group for 30 days, a check-in at 5 a.m., earn points if you check in from 5 to 7, a journal prompt every day to help you with your business mindset, and a business building activity every day that's easily implementable to help you grow your business over 30 days, right? Like, what do you think of that? Is that something you'd be interested in? If you're interested in that, comment below, let me know, drop a gift, drop your favorite emoji, like let me know if this is something you're interested in. And then people were like, I think I'm interested in this. I need to know more. I need to know cost. I need to know all this stuff, but I'm interested in it. And then when I saw that there was interest, I said, you know what? Now that I know there's interest, I'm going to create it. And so if you want to be the first to know when it's live, in fact, if you get on the wait list for it, when it goes live, right, then you're going to be the first to know, and you have 24 hours to sign up and secure your spot before anybody else does. So get on the wait list, you'll be the first to know. And then everybody who said they were interested got on the wait list, right? And then before I even really created it, I created the outline of it and the structure of it and the concepts of it. Then I went ahead and I sent the email when I knew the cart was going to open and said, hey guys, it's open and you have 24 hours before everybody else to secure your spot. There are only 30 spots. If you want one, this is it. Here's the detail. In fact, for being on my wait list, you guys are getting a special like VIP rate, especially because this is the first time I've run the program. And so then they all signed up, right? And then I was able to open it to the public and say, hey, okay guys, like, there are only X spots left. So many people from the VIP list signed up for it, but here's what you can expect. And then, of course, because I had sold spots, I was going ahead and I was creating it, right? Does that make sense? So to me, that's a better way to, if you're just testing a concept and an idea and interest, than creating a challenge around it or creating a course around it when you don't even know if people are interested, right? But once I know people are interested, then a challenge, right? Not an email course, and I'll tell you why, but a challenge or like a Facebook Live series may be part of my launch. So let's say that it had been, something else, okay? Like, well, let's stick with Wake Up and Win, but let's say it had gone a different way. So let's say I do the same thing. I put a teaser post in the Facebook group and I say, hey, okay, or my Facebook page or all the places, even my email, and say, hey, this is the idea. I had this download, kind of thinking this. Who's interested? Like, what are your questions? Like, just let me know. And then I get people on a wait list, right? Then what I might do is have a challenge, right, about waking up early. Right now, it's not really teaching them what to do to wake up early because that's what the program Wake Up and Win did. But it may help them start thinking about it. It may help them get excited about it. So something around the morning, right? That ends with, they can also get on the wait list to get the special rate and to get the right to sign up 24 hours before, right? Or in lieu of the challenge, I might have a 3-part Facebook Live series, right? Like the three habits that entrepreneurs have that keep them from having the most productive, lucrative, profitable mornings and days of their lives, or something like that, and how to avoid it, right? How to avoid the mistakes or something. And then I do the 3-part Facebook Live series that kind of talks about things that would be covered in the Wake Up and Win program, positioning the program, and again, having the call to action of either get on the wait list so you can get the special price, or maybe like, hey, the card is open, you can register and get the special price, right? Something around that. Does that help you, Michelle? So Michelle says, oh, that's gorgeous. I have so many ideas. That seems like a great model for me. Good, right? That's my favorite thing to do, is just test ideas, right? Test an idea with your market first, and then if there's interest, create a wait list, and then sell it, and then create it, right? And then create it. Someone asked me, hi Rajika, this is just open Q&A, girlfriend. So hopefully I answered your question on email. I think I did, but if you have more, you can ask here too. But someone asked me once how when I started as a date coach, I filled my first group coaching program. And I will say this until I sold it before I created it. So I did market research where I said, hey, I want to talk to singles around challenges that they're having around dating and and certain things and to help me create something. It's not a sales call, it's really a market research call. And I'd love to talk to you all. And I talked to them all and found out they were all struggling with the same number one challenge. So I said, you know, I don't really want you guys to struggle with that anymore. So I'm doing a free call to help you. This is before Zoom, before Facebook Live. That's how old I am. I was like, I'm going to do a free call to help you solve this challenge. And so I did the free call. And on the free call, I said, you know, as I was going through the market research, guys, you guys are all struggling with all the same challenges. And before I knew it, looking at your market research results, I had outlined an 8-week group coaching program. And here's the structure. Now, of course, I created it based off of the information I got in market research, what they wanted, a group program, 8 weeks, like around the price they wanted. And I had structured the topics. And I said, and I want to give you guys a co-creator discount, like a founder discount, like you helped create this, right? So no pressure, but if you want in on it, like I'm giving you 50% off, like it's a special rate for you guys. You guys created this. You guys are really the co-creators. And so then I sent them information about it, sent them an email saying, if you want it, here you go. And I filled like 2 groups just from the market research, right? So testing ideas and testing things like that is so super important. Rajika says, do you do an email sequence when you offer a special program? So I don't know what you mean, Rajika. At what point are you asking that question about the email sequence, right? So normally when I have a program that I'm launching, the ways that I just shared are the ways that I launch it. So I either do market research that then leads into me getting the information I need to kind of create the program. And then I let the people who helped create it get a special rate if they want to fill the group program. And then they're registered and they're signed up for it. Or I do like the teasing the idea, like, hey, who's interested in this? And people who are interested, I get them on a wait list, right? And then once, like, then I might do a challenge that talks about things that'll be covered in the program, that builds a list of people who are interested in that topic and creates discussion and builds excitement for like the next level that would help them really implement it. Or I do a 3-part Facebook Live series that gets people really excited, right, about the program and makes them want to take the next level, so that they either purchase right at the end of the 3-part Facebook Live series, or they purchase at the end of the challenge, or they're on the wait list too, and then I'll send out an email sequence to the wait list, right? So once it opens for the wait list, it's a very short sequence in that it's 24 hours usually. The wait list has 24 hours before it opens to the public to like get on, to get in the program and to register. Otherwise, right, then it's just to my regular list that I have a program and that it's open for registration. And I will do kind of a sequence, right, a little bit around that. So where I normally send 2 newsletters a week, if I have a program, I might send like 5, but a value, not just promoting. So again, talking about the topics that'll be covered, also promoting, doing a mix of stuff. And then if I notice that people are clicking on the links for it, are interested in it, are commenting about it in the group, have questions around it, or participating in my Facebook Lives around it, then I might target them more, right? Does that answer your question, Rajika? Okay, good. What else we got, guys? What else? What other questions do we have about your business or about clients or groups or my podcast? If you missed the beginning, really watch it. The gifts are amazing. First interview, amazing. I mean, guys, Google Paul C. Brunson. The fact that he is my first interview, I set the standard high for my podcast. I set it hard. I made my standard hard for me to keep up with, right? By having Paul as one of my first, my first podcast guest. Like insane, incredible. Incredible. I'm so excited about it. What else? Any other questions, guys? That's it. Anything about your business, challenges, things you're working on, questions you're unsure about, strategies, how I run things in my business, information about my business, information about me, information about mindset stuff, routines, practices, anything at all, this is your chance to ask any question at all that you want to ask that you might want to get some help around. Oh, I'm so excited too. Thank you, Rashika. I'm really excited about it, guys. I mean, really excited about it. I can't believe I waited. I can't believe I waited so long to do this. But it all worked out the way it was supposed to work out, because Paul is an amazing, I mean, the nuggets he dropped, y'all, and the experiences he's had, that alone, that makes the podcast. But then having Rachel, and then having the next guest that I'm signing up. Plus, like my intro episode, you know, normally there's an intro episode, like, hi, here's who I am and here's what I do. I have two of my best friends who are, one's an entrepreneur, one has known me through all of my entrepreneurship from before I was an entrepreneur all the way through. She's my best friend. She has seen me at the highs and the lows, right? And what I told them, I said, look, I want my intro episode, my introductory episode, my first solo episode, I need to tell my story to people who don't know it. I need people to know, but I want to do it in a different way. I want to do it in a way that gives people real information, and maybe information I've never offered up on my own, or information that I just haven't shared because I haven't thought about it. And who better than to talk about my career trajectory and my entrepreneurship trajectory and my building business, ups and downs and lows and like everything, than my two best friends interviewing me. So it's a solo episode, kind of, but not really solo. So they're coming over on my birthday night on August 28th. We have calendared it for that date. And they are getting real with me, asking me questions. And that is going to be the first episode of the podcast, other than the, you know, interviews that come after that. Rajika, how do you come up with topics for Facebook Live? Okay. I have a content calendar. I have a content strategy. Right now, I'm not going to go into my full content strategy, FYI. This is something I do a half-day intensive on with people. And if you're on my podcast launch team, that's one of the prizes you may earn, is a half-day coaching intensive with me. So if you're thinking that you want to talk about that, this is something we could talk about during that. But I have a content calendar. So I know basically for the quarter what I'm talking about every week. Now, if you notice, guys, if you've paid attention to my content, I talk about the same topic every week. Now, the topics I talk about are very calculated. They match my launch calendar. They match things that I want to be branded as an expert for. So there's a bigger process than this, okay? But here's the little snippet that you might care the most about. So I know what I'm talking about every week, and I talk about one topic all week long. So for example, there was a week that I talked about going all in on your business, right? Right when we were getting to the going all in stuff. And there was another week that I talked about knowing your value, right, in your business. There was another week that I talked about, what did I talk about? I mean, I talked about everything, right? The importance of support in your business. There was another time that I talked about risk taking and how to take a risk. How do you know when it's time to take a risk, right? But I'll talk about the same topic all week long. I talk about it in different ways though. So I, like on Monday, I might talk about risk taking from a personal story point of view. And on Wednesday, I might talk about it from a client point of view. And on Tuesday, it might be a tip. And on Thursday, it might be, right? So the idea is I've got a very formulated way, but I talk about the same topic in depth in different ways all week long. That's always what the topic of my Facebook Live is. Right now, this week, there is no real content other than I'm talking about my podcast a lot. That's why it made sense for open Q&A, because I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of questions about, hey, how did you come up with a podcast? How did you get it out there? Like, what were some of the technical pieces of it? And that led me to go, well, maybe I should have an open Q&A session, right? But normally, the topic is about what I talked about all week long. So the last topic was going all in on your business. What does it mean to go all in? How do you really go all in on your business? What does that mean in a practical, tangible way? And so the Facebook Live that week was exactly about that, like how to go all in on your business so that you live a life you love, right, while getting the results that you want. Rajika, yeah, you might win a half-day intensive, right? So that's one of the upper tier prizes in the podcast launch, and you get entered to win that. Not everybody wins it, but there are also other things like 90-minute intensives, 1-hour coaching sessions, and like I said, some of my clients have donated things like a publicity session with a publicist, social media graphics created for you, virtual assistant time, branding intensive with a brander. I mean, these are all prizes that people are donating because they believe in my podcast and they believe in me, and I appreciate them so much, but they want those to be awarded to people who share the word about my podcast. So if you're not on the launch team, but you think you want to win some of this stuff, I mean, there's jewelry, there's Amazon gift cards, guys, it's crazy. Journals and pens and planners and fun stuff. Get on the launch team to participate and to earn these prizes, or to earn the chance to win the prizes. Super simple. You just have to share a few things a couple of times. We're even going to provide a lot of the copy for you and the write-up and the graphics, and you can tweak it if you want, but we're going to make it super simple for you. You might have met, quote unquote, met my new assistant, Elizabeth. I introduced her in the group today. Elizabeth is really running, spearheading the launch team. She's amazing, and you're going to get to know her really well, but that's how you can win all this stuff. So what else? What other questions do you have? So we talked about how to come up with topics for Facebook Live. Another great way, so that's the way I do it, Rajika, but another great way that you can come up with topics for anything, but including Facebook Lives. Set your timer for 5 minutes. Set a timer for 5 minutes, and then brainstorm out 52 questions that your target market, that your ideal client has. So for example, right, as a dating coach, I would always be asked, where do I go to meet people? Who pays on the date? Am I allowed to ask him out? What do I wear on a date? Where should we meet for a first date? How to find really good people online? How do I, right, like those questions, right? I just brainstormed 52 of them. If I set a timer for 5 minutes and brainstorm 52 questions that my clients have right now, it could be, how do I get my first client? How do I make getting clients consistent? How do I make 5,000? How do I price my program? How do I fill a group? How do I, right? All of those brainstorms, all of those questions, that's a Facebook Live topic, right? Do you see what I'm saying, Rajika? So that's a Facebook Live topic. That could also probably be content you talk about all week. Well, 52, guess how many weeks in the year there are? 52. So you just brainstormed an entire year of content or at least entire year of Facebook Lives by setting a timer and brainstorming just 52 questions that people would ask you, right, that you would help people with. So start paying attention and noticing, like any of the questions that I'm being asked here in the open Q&A, that would become a great Facebook Live in and on its own, right? How do I come up with content for Facebook Live? How do I fill a group? How do I test an offer? Like all of those could have very easily been their own Facebook Lives. So hopefully that helped. What else, guys? What else we got? Got about 10 minutes that I'm scheduled to be here. Can ask more questions. I'm not answering questions on replay unless it's about the podcast launch team. You've got to be here live for my open Q&As. And again, I only do them twice a year. The last one was huge, like 50 people logged in. This one's tiny. That just means you can have more of your questions answered, right? The next one will be in 2020. The next open Q&A will be at the beginning of 2020. Usually I do it when I'm launching a program or something, right? So, or celebrating something. So that'll be the next one. But what else? What other questions you guys have about challenges, strategies, problems, decisions you're trying to make in your business, insight, business models, my business model, information about my business? What you guys got? Anything? Going once? Going twice? Any other questions that I might be able to help you with? Any other questions at all? How do you fill up a group, even a free group? So, Michelle, I will tell you, hands down, market research is one of the best ways to fill a group, okay? Well, let's say, what do you want to do a group on? Give me just a sample idea. Like, give me like a topic. Tell me, I want to run a group for what? Tell me what it's about. There are a couple of ways, but I'm going to tell you this way because I think that this is a good way, right? Oh, you want to message me about a 90-minute intensive? Okay, Rishika. Okay. How do I fill a group? So, okay, so I'm waiting to hear what kind of group you want to run, Michelle, and then I'll answer that, right? Again, I'll tell you my process of how I did it, and then I'll tell you like one or two alternative ways, right? I'll tell you a mistake that I see people make while I'm waiting for you to answer, right? Oh, okay, so confidence building. Let's see, Rajika says, as a new coach, when do you start reaching out to groups for speaking? Okay, got questions now. First thing I'm gonna start with is the mistake that I see people make when they go to fill groups. What they're doing is they're advertising it in other Facebook groups and to audiences and to people that don't know them yet, right? So they're like, I've got a group and I'm telling you all this amazing stuff and here's my amazing thing about my amazing group and you can click here and buy it, or you can even click here and not buy it and be a part of it for free, right? If a free group isn't any easier to fill than a paid group, like it's the same, right? Same effort to fill it. So they'll be like, well, here you go. Here's all this great information. People who don't know me and are seeing me for the first time. Well, that's just not the way the buyer cycle works. It's just not the way. People become aware that your business exists, but then they have to consider you, meaning they have to know you as a person. They have to kind of like you as a person. They have to trust you as a person, but they also have to know that you're a credible expert in what you're talking about, right? And that you have a solution to immediate, urgent problem in their life. So if the first time they're becoming aware of you is when you're telling them to buy something from you, they're not gonna buy. They're not ready to buy yet, right? So the cycle is awareness, consideration, purchase. And consideration can be super long. Like I've had some people consider me for 3 years before they hire me. And consideration can be super short. Like somebody you love refers you to me and you love that person and trust that person. So now you're gonna inherit all their trust in me, right? So, but they still have to go through it. They still have to go through the consideration cycle, meaning they have to know you, like you, trust you, see that you're credible and an expert, but more than that, that you have the solution to the problem that's right in front of their face, right? That you can solve the problem that is their everyday, keeping them up at night, tossing and turning problem. So if you're ready to fill a group right away, you can't advertise it to people who don't know you yet. So you need to make sure you're building that first, right? So what are the different ways you can build that first? So Michelle's like body positivity and confidence. But here's the thing, Michelle. Most people aren't tossing and turning at night saying, I wish I just had more body positivity and confidence. I wish I did. In fact, most people don't want to admit that they don't, right? So when people are confidence coaches and they're like marketing confidence stuff and they're marketing all this stuff, the problem is marketing that when that's not the immediate urgent problem to them. You have to tap into what is the problem that they're experiencing every day, what's right in front of their face, because they don't have body positivity and because they don't have confidence, right? So it's like, for me, for group coaching, for the date coaching a long time ago, people kept wanting fulfilling love. They wanted their ultimate life partner. They wanted to find fulfilling love. But if I marketed that, which I did, nobody signed up. And I was like, what's going on? This is what they want. So when I did market research, they were like, Rita, that sounds great. That's something that's 13 steps down the road for me. I need to figure out how to get a second date. I need to figure out how to make dating fun, so I want to do it. After I figure all that out, like where to go to meet a guy, how to get a second date, how to make dating fun, then I'll be ready for you and like how to find fulfilling love. Well, what I was teaching them in the course was going to be everything that they needed to get a second date, to have fun dating, right? To know where to go to meet people. And that's how they find fulfilling love, right? So I was marketing something that felt too far away from them. So usually if you're marketing confidence or body positivity, they're like, that's nice, but I'm like 18 steps away from that. I just need to figure out how to like, I don't know, have more energy for something I have to do, or how to sleep through the night, or I have to figure out like how I can get more done in a day, or I need to figure out like how I can date, you know, how I can make myself want to get out there and date, or I need to figure out how I can run around with my grandkids, or I need to figure out how I just can go after, why can't I get on stage and talk? I need to figure out how to feel more confident in videos, or how to be okay getting more visible so that I get clients. So see, by knowing your target audience, you'll know what their immediate urgent problem is. Does that make sense? So like if your target audience are like women, internet business entrepreneurs, right? Maybe one of their problems is, I don't feel like I look good enough to get on Facebook Live. I don't feel like I look good enough to do speaking. I don't feel like I look good enough to take branding photos. I don't feel like I look good enough to, But the reason is they don't have body positivity and confidence, right? But if you market, get more comfortable getting visible, learn how to feel fine on video, speak with ease, like the way you're teaching them to do that is through body positivity and confidence, right? But if your target market are singles for dating, then that's a different urgent problem in front of their face, right? Their problem is, I don't even ever want to go out on a date. I don't even want to put a picture of me up on a social media dating site, or I mean on a Match.com site. Like, I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about me. I feel like I'm always looked over. Why am I never getting the date, right? In that case, then the way you would market it to them would be different. If you're trying to market it to both, to appeal to both, you're going to be so generic, they're not going to emotionally connect with the fact that they need to have that program, that is an urgent to them program and that they need it, right? So then they're going to be like, well, that sounds nice, but they're not going to sign up for it. So the more narrow you go with your audience and like what their immediate in their face problem is, the more likely they're going to emotionally connect with what you're sharing to like sign up for the program, right? So that's one thing. But the next thing is, if you know who that market is, do some market research with them. Get them on the phone and say, this is not a sales call. I am thinking about creating a group coaching program, but I want to make sure it serves people and I want to make sure it addresses challenges. I'm looking to talk to women internet-based entrepreneurs who have to get, who run an internet-based business around the challenges and obstacles that they have with getting visible, right? And yeah, so you just ask them questions like, what are your biggest challenges around getting visible? Why does that happen? What do you think the solutions are? How would it be different for you? And you ask a lot more. I have a whole course. In fact, you can win the course if you're a member of the podcast launch team, right? On market research, called Market Research Mavens. But from the market research, you're getting all the information you need, not only about what to put in the program, but about how to market it to them, how to talk about it to them, right? And how to price it and how to structure it and all of the stuff. That's what market research shows you. So then after you have that, you can do exactly what I did with my market research group, which was like, guys, you guys are struggling with the number one problem. Like, you all said your number one problem is where to go to meet people. That's what my dating people said. Your number one problem is where to go to meet people. I'm going to solve that for you. I'm going to do a free call for you. Don't struggle with that anymore. Get on the phone. Again, before video. Get on the phone and I'll solve it. So I did. I solved the problem. I gave them the advice. I answered the question for them. And then I said, guys, as I've been looking through the market research, all of your other problems are the same. You guys are all struggling with the same stuff. So what you helped me create, because they all know the market research was to help me create something, I just wanted to let you know, you helped me create this 8-week group coaching program. And here are the topics that I'm going to cover. And here's the structure. And here's the price. And because you helped co-create it, because you're the co-creators and the founders of it, I want to give you a special discount on it if you want to participate, right? You helped create this. You get 50% off if you sign up by X date, right? So you can market it back to the market research people. No pressure, but like they helped create it. So if they want in on it, give them a special co-creator discount to be in on it, or other incentives or bonuses, right? Then what you can do is open it up, like I said, through like a challenge that's related to the topic, so that you build a list of people interested in that topic, or a Facebook Live series people have to register for, or something like that. But when you're marketing the Facebook Live series, or you're marketing the free challenge, that is building a list of people interested in the topic that your course will have. Now you know the language to appeal to them and exactly what it should be about based on the market research that you had. So does that help you? Oh, Michelle, I'm so glad. And it's not that you can't have different targets, right? Like, I work with people, I work with clients who are having trouble hitting 5K a month consistently. They just want to get to consistent 5K months, right? That's a lot of my clients. They've started, they're gaining some traction, they get some clients, they get some money, but they really want to make about 5,000 consistently. They want consistent clients and consistent cash, right? But I also have people who are like hovering around $10,000 and they just want to make $10,000 consistently a month. They want to break the 6-figure mark. They really want it. They're hovering right around it, and that's what they want to reach. I have some clients that are making $20,000 a month, and now they just want to like step into the next opportunity. They want to speak, or they want to get paid to speak, or they want to be on the media, or they want to be. But I'm not trying to market to all of them at once, right? I have very specific programs for each one. I have very different language, but I also know the commonality that connects them all here, right, in this group. So anyway, knowing your target market helps for that reason. if you resonate with, like, if you try to reach everyone, you resonate with no one, right? You have to alienate people to resonate. I always say to resonate, you got to alienate, right? Meaning you're going to have to make some people say, that's not for me. So when I was a dating coach, I thought, oh, I could help all singles, because that was true. I could help all singles. Can't market to them all effectively. I can't network with them all effectively. So I narrowed it down. Great. Single women, got it. Still too broad. So I narrowed it down. I was like, oh, single women in their 40s. Still too broad, right? Because a single woman in her 40s never married versus a divorced woman in her 40s dating for the first time since the divorce, totally different challenges that they have, totally different frustrations, totally different problems they want to solve, totally different ways of thinking about things, right? 40-year-old divorced woman is like, I don't want to make the same mistake again. I want to take my time. I want to learn about what I did wrong to contribute to the problem. I really want some advice and outside opinion. Also, online dating, that wasn't a thing when I was single. So how do I do that? I need some help navigating that, right? 40-year-old never married, for the most part, I know there are exceptions. 40-year-old never married was like, it's not my problem. Why should I have to settle? It's these guys, right? I'm not doing anything. It's them. Also, TikTok, I'm getting old and I need to have a baby. And of course I know how to online date. I've been dating all my life. So I've gone on every trend. I know how to do it. So what I would have to say to reach both of them would reach neither of them in an urgent way, right? But to reach one of them in an urgent way would alienate the other. And that's okay, right? I have to alienate to resonate, right? If I'm going to connect emotionally, people buy with emotions and then they justify with logic, right? People buy with their emotions and justify the price and what they're buying with logic. You have to connect emotionally. So hopefully that helped. And Rajika's like, peel the onion to look at their pain point. That's what market research does, right? Okay, so Rajika says, as a new coach, when do you start reaching out to groups for speaking? Yesterday, Rajika. Yesterday, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Rishika. How new are you? How new are you as a coach? You knew what I was going to say. Rishika knew what I was going to say. She knew what I was going to say. 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, Rishika, the day you decide to become a coach is the day you start reaching out for speaking. Guys, speaking is one of the #1 ways to build your business, and I mean speaking for free. Speaking to groups, associations, organizations, meetups, anybody that might remotely have your target market in any kind of way, or people that might be interested in anything you have to say in any way. You reach out to them and you say, hey, I learned about, I mean, there's more to it than this, guys. This is also an intensive I do. I do a 4-hour intensive called Speak and Profit, helping you use speaking to build your business. So please don't use this language and then say it didn't work. Please don't write an email with this language and then say it didn't work, because Rita's not making you write this language. I'm just using it for an example, okay? So you write an email and you basically say, hey, found your organization. It sounds really neat. I love the way that you help empower women to blah, blah, blah. Also, like, my target market is the same market that would be interested in your organization, meetup, association, whatever. I would love to learn more about it. I would like to refer you, but I don't know anything about you, so I need to learn. So I would love to get on the phone with somebody and talk more about your group, association, organization. Also, I'm curious, do you ever accept outside speakers? I'm really looking forward to talking to you, learning more, and hopefully referring you to my audience. Thank you. Take care, Rajika, right? And if you don't want to say all that, you can just say, hey, dear organization, meetup, whatever, I came across you and I think what you do is really interesting. I'm curious, do you ever accept outside speakers? ? I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Warmly, Rishika. Right? Here are the responses you're going to get. You're either going to get crickets, right? Whatever. Or you're going to get, actually, no, we only accept members as speakers. You have to be a paid member of our group to speak. Cool. Now they're off my list, right? Then you're going to get a, yeah, sure, let's talk about it. Let's see if you're a good fit. We're booking for 2020 right now. And that's actually real, right? People are booking for the end of 2020 right now. But then you're also going to get, oh my gosh, Rashika girl, I'm so glad you emailed because our speaker for tomorrow canceled. And like, could you be here tomorrow? And what can you talk about? Like, just give me a topic, right? Or, hey, could you talk about this topic, right? Those are not all the time, but those happen. The idea is it's a long lead time, right? It's a long lead time to get speaking. So when I first started, I emailed out about 3 places a day. I just did one whole day of research where I found every organization, association, meetup group, volunteer group, civic organization that could remotely have entrepreneurs, women in business, right, in the group, in the area. And then, right, like local chapters of local associations, anything I saw where other people were speaking that I might want to speak at. And I just started emailing out 3 places a day, asking that question, saying like, hey, like I heard about you. And if it was true that my audience might be interested in their organization or their luncheon or their whatever, that's how I would lead. Hey, I found you. I think that the people I work with, my clients I work with, would be really interested to learn about your organization and your association or your whatever. I don't really know much about it other than the website. I would love to refer it, but I'd really love to know more about what you do and who's really there and et cetera, et cetera. And so if there's someone I could talk to, that would be great. Also, I'm curious, do you ever accept outside speakers? Looking forward to talking with you, right? That's it. Or I would email out some and say, hey, like, found your organization. I love something about what they do. And I'm curious, do you ever accept outside speakers? Because of the lead time of getting the response, you want to start sending those out now, right? Start sending those out now. What you don't need is a talk already prepared. You don't need that. You don't need to know what you would talk about in order to email out and ask about speaking, right? But speaking for free is the #1 way to grow your business, y'all. Also doing your own events, your own workshops, your own whatever. But here's what's great about speaking to pre-existing groups. They do the marketing. They do it all. They bring the audience to you. It's right there. You educate, you inform, you entertain, you get email addresses, you make good offers, you get people on the phone, you get clients, right? Does that make sense? So Rajika, are you going to start speaking? Michelle, are you going to start speaking? What other questions do you guys have, guys? Any other questions, right? We've talked about a lot. If you're just hopping on, we've talked about building groups. We've talked about market research. We've talked about speaking to build your business. We've talked about target markets. We've talked about, there are a lot of good things that we've talked about. Any other questions? Anything around your strategy, around your business, around a challenge, around something that you're debating, a decision you're trying to make, something about my business model, something about me, something about how I make decisions, how I run my business, anything like that at all? Anything? Are y'all gonna be on my podcast launch team? Guys, it's so real. The information there is so good. It's so good. And like I said, you can win amazing things. Jewelry and gift cards and journals and pens and free coaching and intensives. And not just for me. You're also going to be able to win a publicity session, and you're going to be able to win a style session, and you're going to be able to win some graphics created for you and virtual assistant time and a whole bunch of stuff. So to do that, though, to earn that or to win it or to earn the chance to win it, you have to be on the podcast launch team and do certain things. Make sure you register for the podcast launch team. The trailer comes out on Monday, and that's when people can start earning prizes, okay? Newsletters. You just said newsletters. What about newsletters, Rajika? What about them? Here's what I'm going to say, Rajika, and you know me. I just talked about the different strategy, like the different phases of a buyer cycle. Awareness, consideration, purchase. People have to become aware that your business exists. Then they have to go through the consideration phase before they will purchase from you. If people are just becoming aware of you, they're not ready to purchase from you yet, right? They got to consider you first. You should pick one way to go all in on to build awareness. Networking or speaking, vendor tables, right? Networking can be on or offline. Speaking can be to other groups or your own stuff, or vendor tables, exhibitor tables, right? If you're in the business building stage or business revenue generating stage, pick one of those as the way people will become aware that you exist and go all in on it, okay? But then after people become aware you exist, you have to put them somewhere. Like you have to put them in a container, right? So that you can pour in all the stuff that makes them know, like, trust you, see that you have solutions to their problems and all of that, right? So you need to pick one container, Rajika, one container to go all in on for consideration. What's the container? Is it a meetup group, right? Is it a Facebook group? Is it a newsletter? Is it a blog? Now, what I'll say is that depends on whether you're in a marketing stage or a business building stage. I happen to know Rajika's in a business building stage. She's in a revenue generating stage, right? So your container should be a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group, a meetup group, very front-facing, relationship building. It can be a newsletter. It should not be a blog. It should not be a podcast. It shouldn't be stuff like that, right? Pick one. Develop content for that one, and then repurpose that for the others, okay? So here's the thing. I build awareness in speaking. As I meet people speaking, I put them in my consideration container. My consideration container is this Facebook group, right? This Facebook group is my consideration container. This is where people learn, hopefully, that they like me or that they don't, that they trust me or don't, right? But this is where they learn it. They learn it, they like me, they learn it, they trust me, they see me as a credible expert, they start learning I have solutions to their problems, they start learning what it's like to work with me, right? But I still have a newsletter, and I still have a Facebook page, and I have all of this other stuff, right? But I only create content for the Facebook group, and I repurpose that content for anything else. I would repurpose it for a blog, I would repurpose it for an article, I would repurpose it for my newsletters, right? I do. If you notice, my Tuesday post in the group is my Tuesday newsletter. And my Thursday newsletter is my Monday, Wednesday post in the group, tied together. Or my Wednesday, Thursday post tied together is my newsletter for Thursday. That way I'm only creating content for the one I've picked to go all in on, right? Now for a meetup, you aren't really creating content as much as events, right? However, you would then want to pour in to your meetup group by creating events and experiences and opportunities for them to meet you and to interact together. And your newsletter would be about whatever's going on in the meetup group, right? Or stories about what happened in the meetup group, or lessons learned about something that happened in the meetup group, right? Does that make sense? In a way that makes people want to what? Join your meetup group. So you have one way of awareness, one way of consideration. You go all in on it, right? And you also go all in on it so they purchase one thing. You go all in on one thing, all in on private coaching, all in on group coaching, all in on one, and you just go all in on that. Now, again, that depends on what stage of business you're on, what the right thing is for you, but hopefully that gave you some answers. Anything else before I hop off, guys? Any other questions? Strategy, mindset, business building, problems, challenges, solutions, my business model, the way I think about things, routines, how I run something, what I use, anything like that? Any questions, guys? And remember, podcast launch team, sign up for it, y'all. Because I mean, gosh, the prices. When Katie Reese said she was gonna donate a publicity session, oh my God, for you guys who caught her Facebook Live in here, she's the one that got me on the news, right? She's donating a publicity session as a potential prize to someone on my podcast team. The fact that you could get virtual assistant help for a couple of hours from right, that's amazing. The fact that you can get some creative graphics for you, that's amazing. Other people are donating some amazing things, journals and books and Amazon gift cards. And then of course you've got the coaching from me you can win. You can win your profit plan. You can win a private group coaching call with me. You can win a 90-minute intensive with me. You can win a half-day intensive with me. You can win a spot in my mastermind group that is invitation only, y'all. You can win you can win all this stuff. All you have to do is share my podcast a couple of times. All the instructions will be coming out to you. But if you're interested in the podcast launch team, please get on it. I'm going to put the link again in the chat. It's going to be fun. For the next couple of days, this is what you're going to hear me talk about. I am all in on my podcast. And all of these people who have donated gifts, I'm going to be sharing videos of them. I'm going to be sharing some pre-recorded, some interviews, so you can learn more about the podcast. I'm going to share a little bit about the first 2 interviews for the podcast. Like, it's going to be great. I might even have them do their own little pre-recorded video. It's going to be wonderful. So just be ready. It's like a 2-week party. Okay, it's a 2-week party till my birthday on August 28th. Then at the end of August 28th, I take a nap. I take a nap, right? But until then, it's a party. So, launch team. Okay, before I leave, any other questions going once? I'm glad that this has been helpful. I'm glad this has been helpful, guys. Any other questions about your business, about my podcast, about how I did a podcast, about what I'm thinking a podcast will do for me? Why now? I mean, like, guys, seriously, any questions at all? Any? Otherwise, I'm going. I'm going because the sun's about to shine in my face. It's like that time of day that the sun, I thought it was going to storm here all day. That's what they said, but the sun's about to come in, shine on my face. So, all right, guys. It was a good open Q&A. I'm so glad you guys hopped on. Thank you for your questions. Thank you guys for those of you who are donating things as prizes for my podcast launch. Like, heart you so much. Thank you to everybody who's registering for the podcast launch team. You are not going to be disappointed. I mean, the interview with Paul Brunson as the first interview, my editor, my podcast editor was like the first episode and she just put like hearts, like love it, right? And the second episode too is like mind-blowing, right? And those are the first two episodes. The celebrities, comedians, the barista down the street, my mama, people at all different points in their life, all different points in business and career, sharing insights that can really help you build a profitable business and live a positive life, meaning you're making money and you're having fun. But the interviews, the conversations, they are about different things than normal. That's why Paul said to me after the interview, he texted me and said, I've never had people ask these questions before. It was so nice to talk about this stuff. I've never asked this stuff. And it's the most important stuff, right? So you guys are going to love the podcast. Thank you guys again. I'll see you next week on my birthday. I am doing a 5 p.m. Facebook Live on my birthday, August 28th, leading up to my interview by my two best friends for my solo. They're going to make me open up about things that I just, I share a lot. My life is really an open book, but they're going to make me get really real with you all. So anyway, that's all. If you're watching on replay, let me know. Let me know if you're on the launch team. Let me know what you're excited to win. If you do have a question I wasn't able to answer, you can ask it. I'll see if I'm able to answer it through a chat. Maybe I'll do it in the next open Q&A if I can't. If you have questions about anything, let me know. Otherwise, go and have a good day. Bye, everybody. Bye.